So new Fox polls show former President Trump ahead of President Biden in 3 key battleground states. They're also locked in a dead heat for Virginia, a typically blue state that Biden won by 10 points just 4 years ago. Joining us now to break it down, Chabria, managing director at MAD Global Strategies. Jay, does the state of this race surprise you right now?
Well, the fact that the Trump campaign is expanding the map at this rapid pace certainly does surprise me. Now, the fact that Donald Trump is doing very well in this race, when you look at the economic indicators and how badly Biden has performed, that doesn't surprise me. But the fact that now states like Virginia and maybe even Minnesota are in play, look, and certainly there's some fool's gold there. So the Trump campaign's not going to completely play in those states. But if they can start to light fires in the Biden campaign's backyard and make them expend resources in states that they once thought were extremely safe, that is a huge problem for the Biden campaign and a huge impediment for them to get reelected.
Let me put up some of the numbers where former President Trump is leading outside the margin of error. In Arizona, he's beating Biden 51-46, Florida 50-46, 50-45 in Nevada. And then that Virginia number that we've talked about, they are tied in Virginia, 48-48. When you go back 4 years ago and look at the Virginia outcome when those two were running against one another, President Biden trampled him by 10 points. All of a sudden now it's a dead heat in Virginia. What explains that, Jay?
Well, look, I think it's a couple of things, but and you're right to point this out, John. Virginia is a state that's been trending blue, and certainly Republicans can take it every now and then, but it's a state with DC suburbs. It's trending blue. What's accounting for it is a couple things. One is people are really struggling in this country. It's not just to say you can't just it's not paint by numbers. There's inflation, or things are better. People can't put food on the table, and that is a direct result of the Biden White House's policies. So that's the first thing. The second thing, too, is Democrats have way overplayed their hand, both on the woke ideology, but also on this trial that they've had in New York. People don't buy it, and they start to turn away from the current president. There's one more factor, too. The Wall Street Journal wrote this scathing piece last week, and a lot of your viewers are already aware of some of the foibles that Biden has had on the stump when he walks around, how old he looks. But this scathing article starts to point to it, and regular folks are starting to see it now, too, how out of step he is and out of touch he is with the average Americans, and it's a big problem for the Biden campaign.
We talked about this earlier in the hour, but the president signed those executive orders to try to minimize the illegal border crossings in this country. Is that going to help him, do you think?
Look, I think it'll help on the margins, but here's the thing. Is it too little too late? And you had Chad Wolf on earlier, and I think he rightly said this is a political ploy. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to take that away in the advertising. They're trying to make that a claim that the Trump campaign can't level against them. I think it's pretty baked in that this is a White House that has been very friendly to illegal immigration, and I think it's probably too little too late for them to recover from it.
What about, for a long time, the president had the fundraising advantage over ex-President Trump. Where does that stand now?
Look, if the ATM, if the internet was an ATM, the word guilty is the PIN code. And boy, the Trump campaign is pushing it. They have raised tens of millions of dollars on internet fundraising, and they're doing unbelievably well. They're also starting to crack Silicon